Leeds Boxing Promo. We're here with Jack Bateson. How are you doing, mate?
I'm good, thank you, mate. How are you?
I'm great, mate. I'm not bad at all.
Good, man.
Big fight coming up with Mick Conlan, 5th of September in Dublin. How did this fight come about, Jack?
So yeah, there was talks about it around 7 months ago now, and the talks began, and I thought, you know what, this is a good fight for me. This one I was, looking forward to, and then I watched his last fight against the Indian lad Khan, and I thought, oh, you know what, have a little watch at who my next opponent could be. And then after the fight, they got the European champion in the ring, or the current European champion, and they said, oh, this is Mick's next opponent. So I was a bit like, makes sense, he's got a European title shot. And that fell through. Talks started again, but then there was talks about him and Warrington. And I thought that's going to happen. So again, went silent, and then talks started again, and boom. A few more serious talks from Lee and my dad and the team, and we're here now, and I'm excited for what's to come.
No, it's an exciting fight. It's a big platform. It's a big name. It's you're going over into his backyard, over in Ireland. It should be fantastic, mate.
It's a massive fight. It's a big opportunity. A win here can change my career entirely and set me up for world title shots. So a win here can change my life.
Yeah, it's going to be good, mate. It's going to be really good
for sure.
You were due to fight Danny Quartermain in a rematch, because you had that fight with him last December, was it?
Yep.
And that kind of ended, obviously, not the way we wanted to see.
Terrible.
It hardly got going, really, did it?
Yeah, never.
What happened with that then?
Yeah, well, the fight never really got going. He gave me his word we'd have the rematch early next year, and it came to about 2 days before the fight was to be announced. I think it was around March time. It was going to be announced for a show in May, a GBM show.
Yep.
And our purses were a lot better than the first purses. His purse was double plus more of what mine was, so everything was in his favour on his promotion. And 2 days before the fight, I got a call saying he hasn't signed the agreement to fight. And to put it in plain, simple terms, he's a shithouse. And you know what? Karma's a funny thing, because obviously he signed a big fight on a Frank Warren show, and that fell through to his opponent getting injured, and now he's in sort of not no man's land, because he's got the belts, but
you've moved on since then.
I've moved on, and I've got a big fight. Exactly. I'm fighting for WBC International on a big card. So you know what? I'll let him do his thing. I'll let him crack on.
And have you fought in Ireland before, Jack?
Yes, I fought there about 7 times as an amateur. So it's nothing new to me. I've got family in Ireland. I've been over there plenty of times, and I'm really looking forward to doing it as a pro. And what better occasion, live on Channel 5 in Dublin at the Free Arena against a good opponent like Mick Conlan. So listen, it's going to be special, and these are the sort of nights you dream about as a young kid growing up. So I'm excited.
I think it's great as well that it's on Channel 5, that sort of terrestrial platform, because millions of people will be watching this, it's...
Oh, exactly. You know what it is, everyone's going to be watching, and not just the people who have got Sky or have paid for pay-per-view.
Hardcore boxing
fans. Everyone's going to be watching it, because listen, everyone in Leeds especially, I'm grateful and blessed to have the support I do from the city. So yeah, listen, it's a big opportunity, and like I say, it's a fight which I'm motivated for, and it's a fight which can set me up for bigger things.
And you sort of touched on it then, you've got great support. Have you got a lot coming over with you for the fight coming over from Leeds?
Yes, so far I've done about 120 odd tickets, and for people to have to book flights, buy hotels and everything, it's like I say, I'm grateful for the support, and there's more and more getting in touch, so it's brilliant. Leeds are going to be making the noise in Ireland. Listen, there might not be as many as the Irish out there, but we're gonna make the noise surely, and we're we're coming to take over.
Be a good crack, that, man.
It will, it really will. A pint of Guinness and or a pint afterwards in one at pubs would be nice.
A celebration win,
mate.
A
celebration win, that's the one.
And what do you make as Mick as a fighter? Have you crossed paths before? Have you met each other? Because it seems like Mick's one of those fighters who's kind of been around forever, you know?
Yeah, listen, I think Mick's a brilliant fighter. He's had a brilliant amateur career, a brilliant professional career. He's fought for 2 world titles as a pro. We spent a lot of time in the amateur scene together. We both fought in the European Championships back in 2013 in Belarus.
Wow.
I think he won a bronze medal or a silver medal, and I won a bronze medal. I was at 49 kilos and he was 52 kilos, so we were a lot younger and a lot lighter back then. We've always been in around the same tournaments and stuff, but just never really crossed paths. So now we're the same weight in the pros, and that it's been a long time coming really. And we sparred about 5-6 years ago when he was training with Adam Booth down at Booth's gym in London when he was preparing for a fight. Me and Jason Cunningham went down there and helped him out in a bit of preparation, and we had some brilliant rounds. So listen, we know a little bit about each other and we know a bit of strengths and weaknesses, and so it's going to be an interesting fight.
And you know, back in the days, in those amateur days, did you ever think your paths had crossed? Did you ever think that you'd end up fighting in the future, or?
Not really, no. I didn't think too deep about it, especially with us being different weights at the time. I didn't, but you know what, even when I first turned pro and Mick was doing his thing, I thought it was probably a long way off, but we're here now, and listen, it's exactly, and it's going to be a good fight, and I'm really looking forward to it.
How's camp been going, and have you changed anything in the preparation for Mick? You know, doing anything especially, or is it sort of the same old, you trying to be the best version of you?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I always try to be the best version of myself, but when you're fighting someone like Mick, obviously, it gets you up for it. You know, you get out of bed on the morning and you've got that bit of extra motivation, because say you're on a normal show and you're fighting someone you don't really know or you never really heard of, you've not got that same motivation, whereas when you know you're fighting a good fighter like Mick, and it's on a big platform and there's a title on the line, obviously tactically as well, you're looking at him and you know what you need to do because you know what he's good at and you know what he's not good at.
Yeah.
So it's been a good camp. Everything has gone brilliant so far, and 3 weeks on 3 weeks tomorrow, so it's creeping up.
And I think you sort of, I don't want to look too far ahead, but I think you're getting Mick at the right time. You know, coming off his last performance and stuff like that. You must be thinking that as well.
Yeah, of course. I mean, Mick's had a brilliant career, and I think in some of the fights he's looked fantastic, and some fights not so much. Obviously, you can't take much from his last fight against Khan because it was a fight. He boxed well within himself. He did just what he had to do, and you know, you don't know how motivated he was for that. He talked a bit about his ring rust and whatnot. So I'm not taking too much from it. I just need to prepare for the best Mick Conlan I've seen, and if I do that, you know, I'll be pretty confident that, you know, I can go in there and get the job done.
And your stablemate Cody's fighting on the undercard. That must be brilliant, him coming over and fighting over there with you, and you know, training alongside each other. And
exactly, you know, all of us in the gym, you know, me, Cody, we're both fighting on the same card. You know, we're both similar weight. We've been sparring, we've been helping each other out in the build-up, doing the sprints together at Roundley Park and whatnot. Then we've got Ishmael Davis, who's fighting a week later in Ireland, in Belfast. So we've all got the same dates, pretty much, and we're working together and we're motivating each other. And you know, when you have a bad day in the gym sometimes and you've got no one to turn to, and you know, it's in boxing, it's nice to have teammates who are going through it all with you, and we'll all be ready. We'll all be ready, and it's exciting times for Leeds Boxing.
Yeah, you're all in the same boat and pushing each other on, and yeah, that must be fantastic.
Exactly, you know, it's a good feeling. We're all, like you said, we're all in the same boat. We're all going through the same stuff, and it motivates you when your gym mates are going through the same thing you're going through, and you think, you know what, we can push each other and motivate each other.
Do you see this as a step up with Mick? Because like you said, if you win this fight, it really does put you on, really puts you out there, doesn't it? It really gets your name on a big worldwide stage, you know, it's a big show, terrestrial TV.
It does, yeah. You know what it is? He's the biggest name I've fought, for sure. We've fought similar opponents in terms of like, we both fought a guy called Diego Ruiz. When I won my WBA Intercontinental title, I beat Ruiz. Mick fought him and he won. I think he won his first title against him as well. So I've watched Mick all his career, amateur and pro, and I'm sure he's seen plenty of me too. So listen, he's a big name. Beating him will sort of make people look at me differently and maybe take me a bit more serious, because you know I didn't turn pro and sign with a big promotional company and get the push that a lot of other fighters did, but beating Mick will give me that, and I'm sure will give me, you know, a big signing with another big promotional company and take my career to new heights.
You know, you said you've obviously been watching Mick, been following his career. Have you seen anything that you could potentially capitalise on, or is there anything sort of weaknesses in his game, or? Yeah,
of course. I mean, in all fighters you see negatives and positives, and there's plenty he does well, there's plenty he doesn't do so well, but it's on me to make sure I get them things right, and I'm not going to sit here and say what he does well and what he doesn't do well.
No, keep your cards close to your chest, mate.
Exactly, but listen, he's a good fighter. He probably sat down and watched me and with his coach, and he's thought, you know, Jack doesn't do this well, he does this badly, and listen, we can all pick and pull each other apart, but it's who gets it right on the night, and at that top level, there's fine lines. So I can't afford to any slip-ups at the top level.
And that big doubling crowd, are you buzzing for that, or are you just going to block it out, tunnel vision, or do you think the crowd will sort of raise you up?
I don't know what to expect, really. I don't think... I don't know how hostile it'll be and whatnot, but listen, at the end of the day, it's me and Mick in there fighting each other. You know, on the way out, whether it's cheers or boos, once that bell rings, you can't hear any of it anyway, because you're that locked in and focused. It doesn't really matter, does it? But I'm excited no matter what. You know, I'm really looking forward to seeing what Dublin brings. The Irish fans, the Leeds fans, just fans in general. I'm excited, and I'm really looking forward to. It's going to be a special night to, you know, look back on when I grow old. You know, these are the sort of things you dream of. So I've got to take it all in and enjoy it.
Yeah, it's going to be a good crack, right?
It really is, mate. I'm buzzing.
When you visualise the fight in your mind, how do you see it playing out?
You know, your mind goes through all different scenarios. And probably what will happen on the night will be completely different. But I'm prepared for whichever way it does play out. But I've had a lot of positive visions, and I'm confident in myself, and I'm confident, my team are confident in me, and I believe it is my time to shine. And you know, just I work too hard for anything different. So. No matter what happens, I'm going to make sure I give it my all, and you know, I'm prepared to die in that ring.
Saying you get past Mick, what's next? I know we don't want to look too far, obviously we're honing in on the Mick fight, but say you get past him, you get the win, what's next for Jack? How would you like to finish the year? Yeah,
of course, a lot of people have said, you know, that sort of question, but my eyes and my mind are fully on Mick. I know that if I don't beat Mick, my dream takes a backward step, and I need to get back into that position, whereas if I beat Mick, it can set me up for big fights. And realistically, beating Mick, I'd like to think would put me in the top 10 with the WBC and set me up for possibly like a world title shot or something along them lines. It can really change the trajectory of my career. You know, I've had 22 fights. I'm not a baby in the game. I'm 31 years old, so beating Mick can set me up for bigger and better fights.
And have you got any messages for Mick or for the fans who are tuning in on the 5th?
No messages for Mick. Listen, Mick's a good lad. I've got a lot of respect for any fighter that gets in the ring. I know it's going to be a great fight, but a message to my supporters, to all boxing fans, you know, tune in. It's going to be a great night. I want to thank my loyal Leeds supporters and just supporters in general for all the support they show me. They've stuck by me through the good and the bad, the quiet times, the busy times, and we're going to take a nice team to Dublin and let's get this W and come back with a WBC international title.
God willing.
God willing.
Well, thanks, Jack. It's been a pleasure. Best of luck on 5th.
Thank you very much.
Can't wait to see you get that win in Dublin.
I appreciate it, mate. Thank you very much.
All Leeds our way.
All Leeds our way.